Have you been told that you have chondromalacia of the patella and you're looking for the best exercises to do? Well, this is the video for you. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to our YouTube live session where we dive deep into any questions you guys have. I want you guys to understand the basics of what chondromalacia of the patella really means. It's a fancy way of saying that you have a lot of irritation on the underside of your kneecap. So your kneecap's pretty flat on the top, but underneath it's got a big wedge. And that wedge of your kneecap sits deep into the knee joint itself. So imagine your knee joint is like between these two knuckles here, and that kneecap is just sitting right there in between. Now, if you've got tension from tightness in different muscles or just poor mechanics throughout your knee, it can cause that kneecap to move to one side or the other and then irritate the underside of it. So not only does it cause pain and discomfort, but it can really keep you from walking, so it's important that you address it. So the different causes of it, you can have a lot of tightness around the knee, from your quadriceps muscles, from your hamstrings, that adds to a malalignment of that kneecap. You can have a lot of tightness in your hip, which causes your knee to move in different ways. You can have weakness in your hip, your quads, just different leg muscles that cause you a lot of poor mechanics throughout that lower extremity. And the last thing that a lot of people don't think about is actually your footwear. So if you're not wearing good shoes, it can cause malalignment throughout your entire lower extremity. It can cause your knee pain to get worse. It can cause hip pain. It can cause back pain. And in this video, we're gonna go over 3 different exercises that you can do to decrease the tension under that kneecap and improve your pain so then you can get back to normal function. All right, what you guys wanna do is you wanna loosen up that tension from your quadricep muscle, because that quadricep muscle is really going to be pulling on that kneecap, and we got to do everything we can to decrease that tension. Now just keep in mind, you may cramp up a little bit in your hamstrings in the back of your leg when you're doing this, but it's totally worth it. Let's dig into it. So you're going to have 2 chairs. You're going to have 1 chair behind you and 1 chair in front of you. Now what you want this front chair for is to hold on to so you don't lose any of your balance. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to step to the side of the chair with your outside leg, with your good leg, and you're going to throw up that foot on the backrest of that chair. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna sit back and you're gonna lean back into it, and you're gonna feel a nice big pull through the front of your leg. You shouldn't feel any pull or sharp pain in your knee joint, and you shouldn't feel anything in your back. It should be all here in the front, and you're just looking for a nice big stretch, nothing else. Now keep in mind, when you hold this stretch, a lot of people will cramp up in the back of their hamstrings. So what you need to do, and if you can't get in this position in general, what you need to do is actually start off down here. So put your foot on the butt rest instead of on the back rest. And you're just gonna lean back into it. And for each of these stretches, whether you have your foot here or all the way in the back, you're gonna hold it for about 30 seconds, and you're gonna do that 5 different times. And that will release a ton of pressure that you have from your quadricep that's putting pressure on your kneecap. The second thing that you're gonna wanna do is stretch out not just the front of your knee, but actually stretching out your hips. Now, the best way to do that is utilizing like the back of your couch or your bed or even a chair. And I'm gonna show you guys how to loosen that puppy up. So let's dig into it. So if you don't have a treatment table at home, which I don't expect you to, is just use the backrest of your couch or the edge of your bed, depending on how tall it is. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your affected leg and you're gonna rest it right in front of you. Now, the further your foot is out from you, the more of the stretch you're gonna get. So start off first with it nice and close, and you're just gonna lean over that leg and you're gonna hold it for 30 seconds. Now, you can also stretch this way or this way. I want you to go in the direction where you feel the most stretch throughout the outside of your hip, because you gotta remember that tightness here is gonna cause your knee to malalign and move differently. And so it's really important that you keep it nice and loose. Here, here, or here for 30 seconds, 5 times in a row. And you shouldn't feel any sharp pain in your knee while you're doing this. You should just feel it all in the hip. The third piece of this video is gonna be strengthening up the inner quad muscle to help better align that kneecap so you don't get as much irritation underneath it whenever you're walking or going up downstairs. So let's do it. So to start, you're gonna turn your affected leg, your feet, out towards the side, okay? This back leg is gonna be bent up. You don't want your toes straight up and down. You want your toes pointing out to the side. You're gonna push this knee down into the table as if you're trying to push that knee away from the ceiling, okay? You're gonna feel that quad muscle here on the top activate. You should see that muscle pop out a little bit, and it tells you that it's activated and that it's working. So we're gonna hold that nice and stiff. And then while we're holding this knee nice and stiff with those toes pointing out to the side, I'm gonna lift this leg up towards the ceiling, and then I'm gonna come back down. Now, if you have a lot of tightness and tenderness, or not even tenderness, but just tightness in your hamstrings and you can't lift your leg up that high, go ahead and lie down on your back. But for The intentions of this video, I'm just gonna show you while I'm sitting up. So activate that quad, push it down towards the table, turn those toes out to the side, and you're just gonna be lifting that leg straight up and down, and you're gonna do that about 30 times, and you should feel a nice little burn throughout this part of your quad. If you can only do 20 before you need to take a break, that's fine. Try to do 5 sets of those. You're gonna really start waking up those muscles. That's gonna help better align that kneecap and give you more relief. If you guys have been struggling with knee pain for more than a month, it's time that you stop doing these exercises on YouTube and you take it to the next level and start doing our online knee rehab course. I've personally designed this entire course to teach you how to treat it yourself with different manual techniques, how to stretch out your knee, your hip, and just your entire lower extremity, and how to strengthen not only your knee, but also your hip, all to get that knee pain away and get you back to normal so you can prevent any unnecessary procedures like surgery or injections from happening. It covers everything that you need to know, and I would highly suggest you look into that. And don't forget to post your questions or comments in the section below. I personally respond to every single question that comes this way, and I will continue to do so as long as time provides. Lastly, don't forget to tune in to our YouTube live session every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.